Last year, I was able to lose 20 pounds, transform my body, and keep the weight off. After years of struggling with a bad relationship with food, restricting, binging, I genuinely thought that maybe I just was never going to be able to achieve my dream body, lean out. If you're clicking on this video, I'm assuming that losing fat and transforming your body is something that you want to do this year. So I'm going to give you all of my tips in this video, exactly step by step what I did to lose 20 pounds, transform my body, all while maintaining a healthy relationship with food, exercise, and being able to maintain the weight loss. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rhea. In today's video, I'm showing you how I lost 20 pounds, transformed my body, and kept it off, okay? We are getting in depth, step by step, everything that I did, all the tea on exactly what you need to do to transform your body and get the body of your dreams this year. And we're doing it in a sustainable, healthy way so that we can keep it off. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to start off the video by letting you guys know that I am going to be starting a series on my channel called the Wellness Diaries, where it's going to be a weekly vlog of just everything that I do in my fitness wellness journey to feel my best, to feel good in my body, workouts, what I'm eating, supplements, like everything that I do weekly. I'm going to be putting it into a vlog. So if you are on your wellness fitness journey and want to do it with me, I am currently in a bit of a building period right now where I want to put on some muscle, but then I'm going to shred down for summer, and I'm going to literally be showing you guys exactly what I'm doing. So if you want all that tea, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of those videos. But I knew that I had to start it off by giving you guys a full breakdown of everything that I did the past year to go from this to this. Here's my transformation. That's the receipts. I just want to put a bit of a trigger warning that we are going to be talking about calories and weight loss and stuff. So if that triggers you, maybe click off this video. Let's get into it. So I'm not going to talk too much about my backstory with fitness. If you want me to do a full fitness journey video, I'd be happy to do that, so let me know. But I have lost around 15 pounds twice in my life, okay? And every single time I just had a bad relationship with food. I gained all the weight back. I was just in a place where I just didn't know if I'd ever be able to like lose weight in a healthy, maintainable way. So I did spend time where I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna focus on leaning out. I just want to focus on building a good relationship with food and exercise and all that. And that's what I did. I felt fine in my body, but I knew that I did want to get leaner, which is totally fine as long as we're doing it in a healthy, sustainable way, which I wasn't doing before, but I did this time. January 2024, I went on a vacation with my boyfriend, and when I came back, I knew that I was going on a trip to Cabo in April. So I was like, I'm gonna try and lean out a bit for this trip. But I told myself that if I fell back into old patterns of restricting or binging or, you know, just unhealthy patterns, that I was gonna cut it out. I literally was like, this is your last chance, like get it together or we're cutting it out, okay? So I started out with a little 75 medium. I knew that I didn't want to do an extreme 75 hard. I wanted to give myself some goals that I thought were realistic and that I thought that I could really stick to. So I did that from January 10th to March 25th. I'll read you the goals that I had for my 75 medium. It was 1 workout a day, 45 minutes, 100 grams of protein a day, 2 liters of water a day, no alcohol, an hour of studying because I was in school, using my 5-minute journal, and doing one thing to prioritize my gut health every day. And this honestly set me up great at the beginning of the year. Like, I totally recommend doing a little 75 medium. Like, it really just put me in such a good place. I didn't weigh myself before I started because I didn't really expect to like have the craziest transformation. I didn't want to put that pressure on myself, but I knew that I was sitting around 150 to 148 pounds, okay? And that's what I've been for like the past few years. I was doing the 75 medium things, doing about 20 minutes of stairs after my weightlifting sessions, so about like 3 to 4 times a week. I was doing added cardio, which is really important if you want to lean out. You got to do some cardio. When I first started my fitness journey, I feel like there was a lot of talk about you don't need to do cardio, weights is enough cardio, yada yada yada. But I didn't start seeing this progress until I started adding cardio sessions in. So don't skip out on the cardio. Start small with like 3 sessions. You could start with just 10 minutes and then work your way up slowly with the cardio. I started with 20 minutes because I knew that I wanted to see noticeable results before the trip. 20 minutes on the stairs, I'd work my way up. So let's say that like in February I was doing 20 minutes of stairs, and then March I got up to 25 minutes of stairs, and then I think that the last like 2 to 3 weeks before Mexico I was doing 30 minutes of stairs 3 to 4 times a week. There's no reason to start with such a high number. You want to have room for once your body does plateau in your weight loss, that you have room to add in more. So if you start with 30 minutes a day and then you plateau and it's like, okay, what do I do now? 45 minutes a day? Like, you're gonna burn yourself out. So start small, and then once you notice that you're hitting a plateau with the weight loss, add in like 5 minutes and go from there. So we all know that to lose weight you have to be in a calorie deficit, which is burning more calories than you're taking in. This is when I decided to start tracking my food. Now I know that this is a touchy subject. Like, I was at a point where I was like, I'm never gonna track my calories again. Like, it's just so unhealthy for my mindset and everything. But I found that I was getting more stressed out because I'd want to be in a deficit, but I didn't really know if I was in a deficit, especially since I haven't tracked in so long, you know? So I was like, I'm just gonna try tracking for a bit just so that I can see how much I'm eating right now and like where I'm at with my nutrition right now, and then I could kind of see like what I need to be eating to be in a deficit, if you know what I mean. I found that I'm a very, just tell me the steps that I need to do to achieve something and I'll do it. You can give me the numbers, you can give me whatever, and I'll get it done. And I just found that it honestly worked super good for me. Gave me more flexibility. Like, I didn't have to be like, oh, like, am I gonna be in a deficit if I eat this? Like, no, I just log it in and I know that I'm in a deficit still. The biggest thing for me was just taking my emotions out of it and sticking to the calorie plans. Like, I know that in the past when I had an unhealthy mindset, like if I'd log in lower calories and it was almost the end of the day, I'd be like, okay, well, like, I'll just stick to eating this much in a day because like then I'm in an even bigger deficit, and like that's great. But it's like, no, like if I had calories that I needed to eat to get to my deficit that I want to be in, let's say it was like 1900 calories, like I would eat that food and hit the deficit. I wouldn't undereat because the day was almost over, and I thought like, oh, okay, like that should be good, right? Like, no, it's gonna catch up to you. You're gonna feel restricted, and that's when binging and stuff happens. So create a small deficit for yourself. You can go into macro calculator, put in your height, weight, all this stuff. It'll give you like your maintenance calories of how much calories you need to eat to maintain your weight, and then you can take 100 calories off that, 200 calories off that to start. Don't go too crazy because, again, if you plateau, and when you do plateau, you'll have to lower that again. So if you do a huge 500 calorie deficit and then you plateau and you have to lower it again, like that's when you're going to be starving. That's when you're going to want to binge and feel out of control around food. You can be in a deficit from taking away from food or adding exercise. So you could even stay at your maintenance calories and just up your exercise for a bit and go from there. You don't even have to take away from food. But I find that adding exercise, taking some food is what works best for me. Start with a small deficit, 100 calories off that maintenance, keep working out the way that you do, and see where it goes from there. I would weigh myself weekly and take measurements to see my progressions. I wouldn't measure myself weekly, but like every now and then. But again, I wouldn't obsess over these numbers or anything. I'd be like, okay, lost weight this week, cool. I must be properly in a deficit. Okay, didn't lose anything this week. Could have been because I'm on my period. Could have been because I wasn't in a deficit this week. Could have been for whatever reasons. Just keeping track of that is how you're gonna actually know if you're in a deficit and seeing results. Once I went on my vacation, I came back, and on my vacation, no tracking, no working out. I drank, like we're having a good time, okay? And that's how I was on all my vacations this year. I went on 3. When I go on vacation, like I'm not working out, I'm not tracking, like sorry, like it's fine. Like I will still reach my goals. So when I came home, went back to my same workout routine, working out 5 times a week and doing stairs. I took the stairs from 30 minutes back down to 20 minutes because I was like, okay, like yes, I do want to keep leaning out. At that point, I'd lost about like 8 pounds before my trip, and I was like, hey, I'd like to keep leaning out, but I have time. Like, I'm not rushing. I don't need to do 30 minutes of stairs 5 times a week. So cut that back down to 20 minutes. Was doing that for a bit, still making sure that I was in a small deficit for my food. And yeah, I was just consistently still losing fat. Once it hit about April and it became nice outside, that's when I started focusing on getting my steps in and hitting a step goal daily, because I didn't want to take away any more food. I didn't want to do any more Stairmaster sessions, okay? So I decided to start going on walks outside because I love a hot girl walk in the morning. It's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. I started with getting 10,000 steps a day. I track all this on my Apple Watch. Now I have an Oura Ring, so I use that to track my activity too. 10,000 steps a day, and I started seeing more results from doing that as well. Getting more steps in and walking is such an important tool when it comes to fat loss. Like, it just changes the game for me. So I was consistent with my steps. In June, I brought my stairs up to 25 minutes and my steps went up to around like 12,000. I was also serving a lot in the summer, so like 12, sometimes 15,000 steps a day. I'm not saying that this is like totally necessary. Just see how your body's progressing in the deficit and go from there. My deficit with food pretty much stayed the same. I was eating an average of about, maybe when I started I was like 2,000 calories a day, and then I went to like 1,900. I think the lowest I maybe ate was like 1,700 to 1,800 calories a day. Like, I didn't take it any lower than that because I am super active. So yeah, I just stayed consistent with that routine, getting my steps in. I was very active this summer. I was super motivated and just having fun with fitness. I was switching up my workouts. it was good. I didn't feel like I was restricting myself or overworking myself, and that's how it's supposed to be. I did know that once I felt like I was lean enough and felt good, that I wanted to reverse diet back up to my maintenance calories so that I can stay lean and eat more food. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Nobody wants to be in a deficit forever, and it's also not healthy to be in a deficit forever. There was also some weeks, I will say, like when I went on trips and that I wasn't in a deficit, I used that as good breaks to have in between. I wasn't stressed about constantly being in a deficit. I knew that if I had a few weeks where I was just at maintenance, like, that's fine, and then I get back to it the next week and we're good. I feel like it worked in my favor actually to have those breaks in between. I ended summer at about like 133-ish pounds, like 15 to 20 pounds down, and I was like, hey, we're gonna reverse diet and get our calories back up, bring the cardio and steps down so that I can just maintain this weight and physique without having to be in a deficit and do all this activity. I will say I think I did get a little leaner than I would have liked, because when you're in a reverse diet and you slowly start building your calories back up, although you're building it back up, you're still in a deficit, so I was still losing weight. If you're going to reverse your calories back up after your deficit, do it before you feel like you're at your goal leanness, because you're still going to lose weight as you work your calories back up. So I did that and I did get leaner. I was sitting at about 128 to 130 pounds. Here I am now. I'm sitting at about 133-ish pounds right now because I've been slowly working my way up to a surplus, a calorie surplus, to put on some muscle. So yeah, I'm leaner than I ever have been. I feel great in my body and I'm eating more than I was before. I'm not working out that much right now. Like, it's great. I am sustaining this fat loss. Like, it's not going anywhere. I'm not binging. I'm not feeling out of control around food. I feel great. I love the place that I'm in right now, and I'm just super proud of myself for being able to do this. So that was kind of just like the timeline of how I did everything, and now I'm gonna give you my top tips to lose fat. First tip that I talked about, adding cardio sessions in. Cardio is important. Sometimes the weights just won't be enough. So yeah, add cardio in slowly, see how your body does with it, and then slowly increase it over time. Limiting alcohol to no alcohol, okay? When I did no alcohol for the 75 medium, I feel like that made such a difference, and I kept up with it after the 75 medium. Like, I'd still drink for a friend's birthday or on vacation, obviously, but I'd go weeks, months where I wasn't having any alcohol just because it makes me feel terrible. Alcohol can be pretty high calories. Like, a night out, like, I'm definitely not staying in a deficit, and then you go out after and then you get food and it's a whole shebang, you know what I mean? Which is fun and good sometimes, but I knew that if I want to reach this goal, I couldn't be doing that every weekend, or it just wasn't worth it to me, especially when you wake up the next day and you feel unmotivated. You're like, no, I'm not working out, and it's just like, you know, it just wasn't aligning with the goals that I had. Alcohol is toxic to the body, so when you drink it, your body can spend up to like 3 days to a week trying to get that alcohol out of your system. And when your body's trying to get the alcohol out of your system, it's not focused on losing fat. Like, it doesn't care if you just did 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. It's like, girl, I gotta get these tequila shots out of your system. That made a huge difference for me. Another thing is gardening, if you know what I mean. Went through a little phase, me and my boyfriend, we'd be gardening and like having snacks and stuff, and super fun, love it, whatever. Obviously, gardening and then eating a bunch of food like isn't going to align with my goals of losing fat, so I had to cut that out, and that was just another sacrifice I was just willing to make because I'd rather reach my goals. I still garden here and there, but just not as much as before. Sometimes you just have to make some sacrifices and change some things up in your lifestyle to reach the goal that you want to reach. Next is increasing steps. This is so important. It's increasing your NEAT, which is your non-energy activity thermogenesis, because walking isn't a super intense cardio where you're going to do it and then feel super hungry after and all that. Like, going for a nice walk, you're getting your steps in, your metabolism's working, you're burning calories, but your body doesn't need to recover from it. You don't get so hungry after. Nobody's saying that you have to start walking 15,000 steps a day. If you have like an Apple Watch or an Oura Ring or something, see how many steps you get right now. Like, maybe you get 5,000 steps right now, so maybe you want to increase and say that you're gonna get 7,500 steps for right now, and then in a bit, once you see progress with that, you'll go up to 10, and then, you know, and then work your way up to the max amount that works with your lifestyle. I promise it'll make a huge difference. When it comes to workouts, there's no specific workout that's really going to be so much better for losing weight. Like, it's all about just being in a deficit. So whether you just walk, whether you run, whether you do Pilates, whether you weight train, find something that you like to do and just stick to it. I strength trained and did Pilates and went to boxing and just did things that just kept me active and that I liked doing, and I saw results. When it comes to working out with my cycle, I was really just in tune with my body and did what worked best with it. If I was in my luteal phase, I wouldn't force myself to go do a crazy workout. I'd get my steps in, do Pilates or something. There's other ways to reach the goal. You don't have to force yourself to go on a run when you feel like shit in your luteal phase. Like, just work with your body, and I promise it'll just make it so much easier to stay consistent. I would recommend some kind of resistance training in your workout routine though. Do your weight training or do Pilates, do whatever that's helping you gain some muscle, because having the muscle in your body is going to speed up your metabolism. It'll allow you to eat more food. Do some sort of strength resistance training a couple times a week. Do whatever workouts you like to do. The other days, get your steps in and listen to your body when it comes to the workouts, okay? That's my advice when it comes to training and exercise. Now for food tips, you do not need to track your calories. If you're like me and you feel like, you know what, like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it, like, it can be a good tool. And I've definitely seen how when you don't put all your emotions into it and you don't look at it in an unhealthy way, it can be very beneficial. If you don't want to though, focus on eating high protein. Protein's so important. It's gonna keep you full. It'll give you more energy. It's protein at every meal, protein snacks, like, get your protein up, girl. Focus on whole foods. I do think that the ingredients in your food makes a huge difference. Eating 200 calories of a donut versus 200 calories of fruit, I don't know, like, it's gonna have different effects on your body. Just focus on ingredients and eating whole, clean foods. I just know that I'm gonna feel way better when I'm eating whole foods. Stay prepared when you are leaving the house. Pack a high protein snack. Have some high protein food ready for when you come home, or know of some healthier fast food options that you could go grab. Like, I love stopping at Starbucks and getting the spinach feta egg white wrap, stuff like that, because if you're not prepared and you let yourself get too hungry, that's when you're gonna feel out of control around food. You're gonna want to binge. You're not gonna want to stick to your deficit. Like, if you're out all day shopping and you know you're getting hungry, but you're like, you know, I'm just gonna wait until you get home, and then you get home and you're starving, that's when your brain goes like, just give me anything. Like, I could eat the whole pantry. Like, try not to let yourself get to that state of being like, I'm starving. because that's just when you feel out of control around food. You need to prep some food to stay prepared during the week because you're busy. Prep some chicken, prep some carbs, make yourself an overnight oat that you can just grab in the morning. Make it easier for yourself. No one's saying that you need to do a whole 7-day extreme meal prep. Like, I never did that, but I would, you know, cook some chicken at the start of the week, cook some beef at the start of the week, so I always had a protein source to add to my meals. I'd grab like some salad kits if I need a quick lunch. I just had things on hand. I knew that I could whip up quick when I need a quick meal, but I still wanted to get my protein in and stay healthy and reach my goals. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did for food and workouts. It's honestly very simple. There's no exact workout or food to eat or supplement to take that's going to make you lose weight. You just need to be in a deficit, use these tips to help to make being in a deficit easier for you. Slowly work your way out of the deficit when you're done to minimize fat gain and to stay as lean as possible. Start small with the cardio, some steps, your workouts, see where that takes you, and then if you want to track, make sure that you're in a deficit. You'll really be good to go. If you don't want to, you know, eat healthy, eat high protein food, get your veggies in, see where that takes you, and then adjust as needed. Doesn't have to be this complicated thing. You just got to keep being consistent with these steps. It doesn't have to be perfect. There was days I ate over my calories for the day. There's days I didn't hit my step goal, but I just stayed consistent, and over time I reached my goal slowly, sustainably, and now we're keeping it off. It's about building a healthy lifestyle and healthy habits that you will keep in your day-to-day life that is going to help you maintain the weight loss. It's a full lifestyle change. You don't just lose the weight and then go back to what you were doing before and stay looking the same. You're going to have to carry these habits that you learned over time to maintain it, but as long as they're habits that you enjoy and that fits your lifestyle, it's going to be easy to maintain. Last thing that I want to talk about is mindset. I really used to think like losing weight is hard, like there's no way that I'm gonna be able to lose weight, yada yada yada, and I told myself like we can't think that way anymore. Literally on my walks I would affirm to myself like losing weight is so easy for me, like achieving my dream body is so easy for me. Like I would just keep drilling in my brain that like this is easy for me, like losing weight, getting my dream body, easy. Like, and over time it proved to me that it is really easy. Like now when I think about any fitness goal, leaning out, gaining muscle, I like genuinely just think like it's so simple, it's so easy. Like I can reach any fitness goal that I want because it's easy. Change that mindset. It works. You can do this. Tell yourself that you can do it and put in that work. Be consistent. You got to be disciplined. Some days you won't want to work out. Some days you won't want to eat healthy, but you got to focus on that why, your bigger picture, and get it done. You gotta put the feelings aside sometimes and get it done. Just make sure that you are keeping a good relationship with food. There's no good or bad foods. I ate crumble cookie, I ate fast food, I ate whatever, you know. We don't need to cut entire food groups out or cut certain foods out. We just have to be a bit more mindful of what we're consuming when we have a goal to reach. And just know that you're not going to be in a deficit forever. It's temporary. Keep that in mind. I believe in you. Stay consistent. You can do it. We are going to achieve our goals this year, okay? Yeah, those are my fat loss tips. That is what I did to lose 20 pounds, transform my body, and keep it off. Stick to the basics. You'll see results. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm starting the Wellness Diaries series. If you want to see exactly what I'm doing in my fitness journey during my little building phase, and then when I lean out for summer, I'm going to be showing you exactly what I'm doing, and hopefully it can help you reach your goals as well. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that. Like this video if you enjoyed these tips. Comment down below any of your favorite fat loss tips. Help the girls out in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you on your fitness and wellness journey. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!